how I spend my money consciously after healing my own emotional shopping addiction. So stay tuned because we need to talk. Hello beautiful soul, and welcome back to Mindfully Modern. I'm Jessica, and today we are going to be talking about how to consciously and intentionally shop post healing our emotional shopping addiction. So, with Black Friday and the holidays fast approaching, this is the time of year where we feel the most pressure to buy shit. Buy things we don't need, buy things for other people, buy things just because they're on sale. So we need to talk. You have been working on healing your emotional shopping addiction. Listen, I get it. It's not fun. It's hard. There's so many things out there that always, it's like people's job to make you want shit, right? So today I'm going to be going over a few tips that really helped me navigate and move through starting to spend money again and how to intentionally spend money. So we are aligning with things that we not only need and want, but that we will use for many years to come. These are just the things that worked for me and my own journey. So as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. So today will be a part 2 to my how I healed my shopping addiction. This video blew up. It has been my most consistently watched video. I have the most interaction on that, and I thank all of you guys so much for leaving little pieces of your story and sharing with me and other people that this is a struggle and shopping addictions are common, and it's amazing that all of us are conscious enough to be willing to work on it. So today I'm going to be sharing a part 2, which basically is going to go over how I now consciously and intentionally spend my money and how I sort of like eased into shopping in the first place, because it wasn't easy. It really wasn't easy. I struggled. So I'm going to go over the steps that I took and just hopefully tips that will really help you feel empowered to want to shop more intentionally and aligned in the future. Okay, so first things first. If you watched my first video, you would know that I am completely go big or go home. So when I realized I had my shopping addiction, I stopped shopping completely, period. End of sentence. I did not shop for a single thing for multiple years. I would say 2+ years I did not buy one single thing. And it truly wasn't that hard after I got over that initial 6-month-ish mark of having situations arise and me feel a certain type of way and feel like I wanted to go shop, and then witnessing the behavior, pulling myself back, utilizing my tools to shift through that moment and realize I actually don't need to shop. I'm just being triggered and I need to sit with that. So for those first 6 months obviously were more difficult, but then once I moved towards the 6 months to 12 months, it became more easy. I just kind of put shopping out of my mind, and this is how I did that. First things first, shopping, sales, commercials, you name it. Someone everywhere is always trying to sell you something. So I get it, we are in a digital modern age and you need to be able to have a phone and check emails and whatnot. But if you noticed, your phone will directly link you on your social media to influencers' account, where they have the affiliate links for you to just click, easy access right there to something. So my first tip would be to stop following or stop watching the stories of people who are constantly posting something that you might feel triggered by, or that you might feel pressured to buy something with. It's almost like the saying, out of sight, out of mind. So think about that way. So stop watching your favorite influencers if you're not in a position to buy anything and you're not looking to spend anything. We are intentionally shopping moving forward, which means you don't put stuff in front of your face if you know you're gonna love it and want it. It's like a hungry lion and you're waving a steak saying like, oh, control yourself. Like, let's not play. Don't tease yourself. Don't set yourself up for failure. So with that, stop watching influencers, stop watching people who are posting hella bomb stuff that makes you want to buy it. Just don't even tease yourself. And the second thing I would advise you to do is to go to your email accounts and unsubscribe from that Crate and Barrel, unsubscribe from Shein or Boohoo or wherever you are spending all your quick money at, whether it's home decor, Sephora makeup, Ulta, whatever has you wanting to spend your coins, unsubscribe. You don't need to know every sale what's going on. It's literally information overload. They're gotting you. You're getting got, okay? So unsubscribe. So there's not even that pressure to want to spend or do anything in the first place. So after not spending any money for the first few years, I felt like, okay, I'm at a place now where I'm not feeling emotionally triggered. Maybe it's a good time to buy something. So when I decided I was ready to kind of dip my toes in and see what I'm willing to spend and what I actually needed, I referenced a list that I made. I made this list over the 2 years of not spending anything, of just things that I knew I wanted and I knew I would wear. Things like Athleta leggings. I love them. And I had another pair. I've wore them for 5 years straight. Like, I love them. That was on my list. I wanted a new pair of tennis shoes, athletic shoes, something I will wear all the time, something basic, black and white, that can go with everything. I was super intentional about creating this list of everything that I wanted and then really narrowing it down to the budget I gave myself. So the budget I gave myself was $100 per season for the first 2 years. And either that makes sense to you or it doesn't, but to me it was like, hey, yeah, you've got this abundance. You can spend this $100, $200 for fall, winter and buy yourself stuff, but what are you gonna spend that money on? What are you gonna buy intentionally? I allowed myself that $100 a season. And so it was $100 for fall, $100 for winter, spring, summer. But I usually clumped it together and made it $200 for fall, winter, since those are pretty much the same seasons, coziness, warmth, all that. So that is what I did for the first 2 years, $100 a season, and I stuck to it. I was very intentional about the things that I bought. I was wondering what my style was. You know, your style changes as you evolve, so I really wanted to tap into what is my style now? What do I even want to wear? If I had all my ideal clothes in my closet right now, what am I reaching for? Everything is intentional from now on that we buy, because we don't just splurge and buy things that we don't need or that are on sale that we might use one day. So those first 2 years, the $100 a season really helped me just get in touch back with my own style, with how I did things, and just allowed me to spend that money, but in a very intentional, fun way. So I think for the first few years, I bought things like, obviously, like a cheap little sweatshirt and some leggings and some cozy slippers, like something that I knew that I would wear the shit out of. And I did. That is how I first initiated back into my spending, the $100 a season. Let me know if you're interested in trying that. I really am so interested to see, because this is just stuff that I kind of made up as I went along that just felt right or felt aligned. So I don't know if this is gonna work for everyone. As always, take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. But this really, really worked for me. I wanted to share what my process of needing something looks like. So to me, I think about what's important to me, okay? And these are my values. I find what's important is I want to look cute, I want to be comfortable if I can, and I'm trying to be bougie. I want to be really intentional about the types of fabrics that are being made in my clothes. So try to stay less away from more polyester and that kind of stuff and move towards organic cottons and wools and linens that are more natural and good for your overall health and vibration. Those are just things that are important to me. So when I'm moving through life, through seasons, and I keep noticing that I want to pull for a cozy sweater to go run errands in, I keep thinking cozy sweater, cozy sweater. Okay, I'm going to put that on my radar and add it to my list that I have created of things that I need / want, and see how often that same thing keeps coming up. Now, if it's a daily occurrence and I'm asking myself, where can I get a fuzzy, cozy sweater because I am wanting or thinking of it that much, that to me sounds like something that would be a great idea to spend part of my budget on for that season. Those are the type of purchases that we're doing. We're being so smart, so intentional about where our energetic currency is going, that we're only buying things that we know are worth it, that we know that they're valuable to us, and it's going to last for a long time. Because if not, why are you buying it? Why are you buying a Shein top for $3 but there's gonna be a hole in it after you wash it. Like, this just, it doesn't make sense. Buy stuff that will last. Buy good shit. Buy things that you love and that you are going to be using for a long, long while. Okay, so during that time also that you are healing and working on your shopping addiction, I would say that a very cool thing to do is be really intentional about what you're asking for gifts, right? Like, we all have birthdays, Christmas, whatever, depending on who's around in your life. If you have someone asking you what it is that you want, be smart and intentional about it. Ask for something that you're not going to want to buy yourself. Ask for something that you're going to use for yourself a lot of the times. So for me, that was asking for a pair of new athletic shoes, you know, sporty shoes. So that was how I got what I wanted without having to spend my own money. I was just like, hey, if you're thinking about getting me a gift, I could really use blah, blah, blah. And that is, I think, such a great way to communicate your needs, be honest about what you're going through, and just say like, hey, I don't need a bunch of random shit. I could really use blank, blank, or blank, and obviously give them something within the budget that they're willing to spend for you. But, you know, it's just, it was something that really helped me, because then instead of having to take out $100 out of my budget to buy tennis shoes, so that would only be one thing, I was able to get tennis shoes as a birthday gift, which I'm still wearing 3 years later because I love them so much, and you know, come up in the game smartly and intentionally asking for what you want for your gifts. Just a little side tip. Another tip I would have is wait for stuff to go on sale. You're a pro at not shopping now, so you have the time to save your coins and wait for something to go on sale. I came across this line of face moisturizers that I love. They're organic, they use beef tallow, all the good ingredients, all the things I want on my body. And I originally bought the small one because I didn't know how my skin was gonna react. Do I like it? You know, all the things. I used that shit up so fast, I was like, okay, I'm literally in love with these products, but I waited. I waited for a sale. I waited until a good sale, until it was 20% off, and ended up getting the things that I wanted at the bigger size for almost the same price if I would have just bought it, the small one, not on sale. So again, be intentional. You can wait to buy something. And I want to say a little tip too for my makeup girlies. For those few years where I wasn't buying anything, and I'm talking about $100 per season, the makeup. Okay, this is how it went. I'm very minimal. I'm a bronze contour stick. I'm do your eyebrows, do some mascara, a little liner, and some, what's it called? Tinted moisturizer. And a good tinted moisturizer. So, very minimal. I don't wear makeup every day. Most of the time I'm not wearing makeup. I'm at home, I'm comfortable, fresh skin. So, if I did run out of something and it was a need, okay, I would not buy it until I was dead ass out. Like, out. Like, you're scraping the bottle, you're dumping it upside down and trying to scoop at it with the Q-tip kind of out, okay? Because that can be a very tricky situation too, and definitely always order online, because if you go in that store, it is so overwhelming and you'll be like, ooh, I need eyeliner too because it's halfway through. No, you don't, honey. You do not need that eyeliner. You need to just order your shit online, send it to your house, and put your blinders on, okay? Put your blinders on. And after those first few years of spending only $100 a season, I got an interior design project that I started working on and got a good sized paycheck. So to me, this was like my time to be like, okay, you have the money, you're abundant, you could buy technically whatever you want, but how are you gonna show up for yourself, and how are you gonna show up healed and intentionally spend what you know you need, and like, what does that even look like? And I'll be honest with you, I had quite a bit of resistance, even wanting to spend money on myself at that point. It was kind of like, oh, I've been 3, 4, 5 years with just kind of the bare minimum, and it works for me. Like, it still works for me. So I had a lot of inner resistance on even wanting to spend that on myself, so then I had to sit with that. And I had to be real with myself, like, why is there this inner conflict? Do I feel like I am spending irrationally like I used to when I was emotionally spending? Am I coming at this from a wounded angle? Is there something I'm not noticing about myself that is making me feel like I don't want to spend this money? And truly it just came down to me having that resistance of like, oh, well, what if I spend this bulk of money? In bulk, I don't mean a ton. I meant like I gave myself maybe like 5 or 10% of my total paycheck that I made, and I used that to shop, if that makes sense. So I just found that that resistance really was almost like a little protection thing, that it was like, hey, if you spend this, are you gonna go on a spiral and spiral out of control and spend all of your money, or are you consciously aware and going to be intentional and feel good and empowered and happy about what you are spending and how you earned it? So that was a really interesting kind of hiccup I had to move through. So just telling you, if you do feel resistance to spend money after not spending it for a long time, I'm with you. I understand. There is that inner resistance, but that's where you need to go within and just kind of ask yourself like, hey, where is this coming from? Am I feeling a certain type of emotion? Am I worried I'm gonna backslide? Figure out what it is to you that's making you feel that resistance and just kind of sit and move through it. I definitely felt amazing after I bought the big bulk of clothes. And I'll say the big bulk of clothes because with intentional shopping, like I wanted to spend my money on good fabrics, which meant like organic cottons, which as we all know are not cheap. So I found this gorgeous goddess boho line that I fell in love with, and I was like, you know what? This is gonna be my big purchase to myself. I'm going to buy some beautiful basics that I can layer and wear time and time again for multiple years, and I'm gonna do it. And I sat on that purchase for like a month before I actually bought it, and you know, I was doing the work. I was doing the work so I can share it with you guys, so you guys didn't have to do it by yourself. But the work for me was sitting with maybe not wanting to purchase something for a month until I moved through it. But I did move through it, and I made the purchase after removing more things from the cart, because we always edit. We always edit. Are we sure we're gonna wear this? Are we sure this is the color we want? Are we positive this will go with multiple things in our closet? Intentional. Intentional. The last thing I will say is, once you start intentional shopping, that is going to roll over and filleth the cup into every other way that you shop. It's going to show up in the way you grocery shop. It's going to show up in the way you buy home decor and things for your house. It's going to show up how you do anything. So be intentional about where your money goes. Okay, so I really hope this helped you guys out. If you have a friend, family member, anyone who is struggling with their shopping stuff too, send this to them. Help them out. And please leave a comment below on which tip that you really loved the most, what's working for you, and what part of the journey on healing your shopping addiction that you are on. I really hope that this translates well over into your own life and you're able to move through shopping without the guilt, without the fear, feeling empowered, feeling aligned and right, and just pours into the rest of your life and doing everything with positive intentions. Let me know if you guys have any other questions for me. I would be happy to answer them down below. As you see, I'm responding to all the comments. I've got the time. I want to make the time. I love communicating with you guys. So thank you so much for being here, and we will see you guys in the next video. Sending you my love.